I'm John Bednarski. I'm the Chief Engineer and the Manager of Engineering Services at the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California. The Water Southern California program is an important program for Southern California, both from a water supply and an economical sustainability standpoint. The program will produce 150 million gallons per day of new water supply for the Southern California region by purifying effluent from the Joint Water Pollution Control Plant in Carson and sending that water northward for groundwater replenishment, and in the future for direct potable reuse through raw water augmentation at Metropolitan's existing water treatment plants. This will be the first new local water resource that Metropolitan has developed. We rely primarily on imported supplies, and with the current drought, the addition of a new local resource will be important for the economy of Southern California and able to stabilize water supplies for businesses and residences. This report was commissioned in order to gain valuable information on the importance of this project, both from an economical standpoint to Southern California, but also to understand better the impact that this project would have on the local communities that we will be building important components of the project in. Even though we're at the early stages of this program, the information that LAEDC generated for us has allowed Metropolitan to go into the local communities with confidence to discuss the benefits of this program. This program, again, will bring water supply reliability to Southern California, as well as economic development to many of the communities that we will be working within. We're proud to be able to be a partner with LAEDC in the development of this important information for this very important program.
Thank you for joining us today. The Institute for Applied Economics of the Los Angeles Economic Development Corporation has estimated the economic impact of the Metropolitan Water District Regional Recycled Water Program, and I'm going to share the key findings of this study with you today. The Regional Recycled Water Program, we're going to shorten that to RRWP, includes 4 elements: an advanced water treatment facility located at the sanitation districts of Los Angeles County's Joint Water Pollution Control Plant in Carson, the production of up to 150 million gallons per day of purified water, the conveyance of purified water via approximately 60 miles of pipelines, and delivery of purified water to up to 4 groundwater basins within the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California service area. These 4 elements will be split across 2 major phases. The first phase of the project will entail the construction of the advanced water treatment plant and backbone conveyance to 4 groundwater basins, as well as modifications to the direct potable reuse demonstration plant to produce 100 MGD. The second phase would expand the project's treatment capabilities by an additional 50 MGD or more and build out additional conveyance pipelines, as well as adding more basin replenishment options and or potential direct potable reuse connections. The Institute for Applied Economics has estimated the economic impact of the first phase of the project and the economic impact of annual ongoing operations and maintenance costs once the second phase is complete. The total economic impacts consist of the one-time increases in total output, employment, and labor income in the Los Angeles Basin and in Southern California associated with construction activities over 11 and a half years, an estimated construction timeline from July of 2022 through December of 2033, and the annual increase in total output, employment, and labor income in these 2 geographies associated with the ongoing operations of RRWP elements once fully operational. And while all of the project infrastructure and most of the employment and economic activity occurs in the Los Angeles Basin, which consists of Los Angeles and Orange County, economic activity spills over into surrounding county through indirect and induced effects related to purchases in the supply chain and household spending of direct employees and those working in the supply chain. As such, we also estimated impacts at the 6-county Southern California regional level, which includes the counties of Los Angeles and Orange, as well as Riverside, San Bernardino, San Diego, and Ventura. Construction associated with the Regional Recycled Water Program will generate considerable economic activity in the Southern California region, as expenditures are made for goods and services to produce the new structures and facilities. We looked at the construction budget of the program and used midpoint escalation dollars for the analysis. Construction construction contracts will account for just under 80% of the overall project budget of 3.72 billion, with the remaining 8% of the budget allocated for engineering services and just under 12% allocated for labor, including engineering services and water system operations. The construction of the Regional Recycled Water Program in Southern California will result in a total economic output of nearly 8.7 billion and support over 47,000 total project-related jobs, earning just under an estimated 3.5 billion in wages. Furthermore, the program will create 402 million in state and local taxes. Of the more than 47,000 total combined jobs associated with the construction of the Regional Recycled Water Program, over 24,000 jobs will be directly involved in the construction, and another 23,000 jobs across Southern California will be supported by the project through indirect and induced effects. The majority of employment and output will be generated in the Los Angeles basin, accounting for 94% of the program's overall output and 92% of overall employment. Even after construction has been completed, the Regional Recycled Water Program will continue to have a positive effect on the economies of the Los Angeles basin and Southern California as a whole due to the impact of annual operations and maintenance. There are a wide range of necessary operational costs that are anticipated for the upkeep of the advanced water treatment plant, including the costs for power and chemicals associated with the treatment process at the completed site and the replacement of unit process components that wear out over time. There are further costs for energy used at the pump station's injection wells, along with pipeline monitoring and maintenance. These responsibilities will require full-time workers assigned to the RRWP system and create more indirect and induced jobs in auxiliary industries. As the construction progresses in phases and new portions of the project come online, these costs will start to become present. Expenditures when the RRWP is complete and fully operational are estimated at 140.3 million annually. The cost of powering the treatment and distribution system is expected to account for 40% of the total. Material costs will be about 46%, and labor costs for 14%, with a small amount also dedicated to land use fees for situating the treatment facility on Sanitation District's property. Based off these expenditures, the total economic and fiscal impact of annual RRWP activity in Southern California will provide for 1,040 total jobs, earning just under 88 million in estimated income. The annual economic output of ongoing operations will be 306.2 million in Southern California. The activity from annual RRWP operations will also generate 25.9 million in state and local taxes for Southern California. In the future, groundwater basin depletion and the draining of freshwater supplies that California and the Los Angeles region have long depended on will make the need for dependable sources of purified water even greater. With the Regional Recycled Water Program, the Metropolitan Water District will have the ability to increase its regional water reserves, which are critical to maintain for use during droughts and similar times of scarcity. It will also be able to diversify its water sources and enhance operational reliability and flexibility, which is gaining importance as the growing consensus has become that the impacts of climate change can affect the yield of both imported and local water supply sources. Rather than splitting up its imported supplies, both for use by member agencies and for storage, Metropolitan would gain greater flexibility to make groundwater replenishment deliveries primarily through the RRWP and liberate a good deal of imported water for increased storage and other uses. Additionally, without additional investments into imported water resources, imported water conveyance, or storage capacity, the probability of Metropolitan's storage levels sinking below 1 million acre feet rise dramatically across the next 2 decades, which would force the consideration of mandatory water supply allocations. If the regional recycled water program is implemented, this threshold is estimated to be less than half as likely to be reached. The Regional Recycled Water Program is a massive undertaking, but one that has tremendous potential gains in myriad ways for the Los Angeles basin and Southern California as a whole. For more information, please visit laedc.org.
Metropolitan selected the LAEDC to conduct this important study because we recognized the prominence in the local community that the LAEDC had for conducting other important research projects of this nature. We are aware of the work that LAEDC had done for the Los Angeles International Airport expansion projects and also for the important projects down in the LA and Long Beach Harbor areas. We've used the results of this report as part of our communication and outreach to local communities, as well as discussions with our board. For the local communities, we've been reaching out to them and discussing the impacts of the construction of the facilities that are going to be taking place in their communities, and also being able to communicate the economic benefits of that construction and the jobs connected to that construction with their communities. We've also been able to use the results of this report to communicate with our board and other project stakeholders about the economic importance of this program to the overall Southern California economic environment.